Looks like I'm first, and that is how it's supposed to be because it's me. Hello, 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 and everyone. I welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. It's me up. I am currently just drinking water because hydration is important. Get you some water, people. What if I was drinking anything else? I would be drinking it out of my cup mug. Uh huh. Look at it. A panel full of cup mugs. Peer, 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 peer. And you can join this lovely panel and get your own cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically here in the US. So there are no excuses. And I'm looking at you, Traitors US, all of you. There are really no excuses. Get your cup merch. Period.
Oh, thank God that journey was horrible. Ugh. Also, I did all of that with my cup mug without even looking at it, and I'm honestly pretty impressed with myself that I didn't drop it. But anyway, hi, I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I am just drinking water. That's all.
And I have been suffocating in the sweatshirt for about 2 minutes now. Hi, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel. And, I also think the housewives, at least to some degree, are just performing.
But they don't perform.
They live their life.
They live their real life.
Uh-huh.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Jack. Don't do that. Because you won't do that to me. We will play fair in this house. I play fair with you. You play fair with me. You got it? Don't do that.
I'm
I
thrilled
don't
that
even
in
know
this
what's going
scenario,
on.
I'm Dan Giesling, and
You're
that makes me
Dan
very
Giesling.
happy.
Yeah. And you too. By the way. Because she said, and you too.
We'll talk about Phaedra, because God.
I love that woman
This
right
episode.
now.
One episode, thank God. Only one.
Yes, only one.
Only one this time.
I was like, oh, thank God. Because last week, I'm going to be honest, 6 episodes of Traitors was a lot.
But I enjoyed every episode. So all 6 were very much
Me
enjoyable
too.
and it didn't bother me at all.
Too, but
I
also,
wanted to talk about all of them.
I'm excited that there's only one because I feel like we can get a little bit more time talking about the one.
Absolutely.
It won't be a 3-hour podcast this
Absolutely. But before we jump into talking about this one episode of Traitors, hit the subscribe button. You're here. You made it 4 minutes in with us. And I think you like us. I think you do. I mean, you stuck around. So hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. We talk about almost all things reality TV, and we put out content almost every single day. And if you are a fan of drag or anything drag race related, guess what? We have a channel for you too. Go over to the Cup Pod, the Cup of Reality, the Cup Pod, all of those things. Hit the subscribe button over there too, because we put out content almost every single day about almost all things drag. And if you're a fan of Eurovision, guess what? The season's ramping up. We got a channel for you. It's the Cup ESC, and it's content coming out all the freaking time right now because it's a lot of Eurovision happening, and they are hitting it and they are doing it for you. So go subscribe over there. And if you want to help this podcast out monetarily, you can go to our main channel at the Cup Pod and hit that super thanks button. And just know everything that you donate to us goes right back into this podcast so we can help make greater and better content for you. So we appreciate you in advance. Thanks. So it feels like deja vu because where we left off in the UK, we left out in the US. It's a funeral. Somebody's dying because somebody got poisoned.
And we were all worried.
We were worried.
We were worried for our dearest Bergie.
Here in the US, unlike the UK, they didn't show us who got knocked off right away. We didn't see who took the sip. And we know who was in that area where Parvati was headed. It was Peter. It was Bergie. And I didn't even know Ekansu was over there until they showed Ekansu was over there. And I was like, oh.
Oh, I thought we brought it up last week.
No, we thought it was Peter or Bergie because those are the only two people they showed in that moment in that area.
No, because I went in and I wrote down all the people that they showed. And so I was like,
yeah, but you never mentioned
Ekansu. I had Ekansu on the. We didn't talk about Ekansu.
We didn't talk about Ekansu.
None of us thought. It was on the list, I remember. But none of us thought it would be Ekansu. We all thought it would literally be anybody else.
I'm about to say, because Ekansu never got mentioned in the conversation last week. That's why I was like, never even brought up. But when they came back,
plot
and
twist.
we see plot twist, Parvati gives the chalice to Ekansu. And I was like, oh, gag.
Fine by me.
Sure, I was okay with it, but I was glad because I didn't think it was gonna be Ekansu. I was clearly thinking it was gonna be Bergie. I was like, it's got to be Bergie or Peter, because who else would do it? But she gave it to Ekansu.
Yeah, I mean, she panicked.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have anything left. It was either poison Ekin or go home or poison no one. And honestly, I do not think poisoning no one would have been an option because of what happens later. So I think if they were empoisoned, one of the traitors would have gone down this episode as the murder.
Mm-hmm. And I think the person who had the chalice probably would have done it, had to go.
Probably.
But that would have been crazy. But we see Ekansu take the sip, and we're like, oh, shoot, well, there she go. But, bye, girl. But you know what? It didn't happen right away. Of course not. Why would it happen right away? It was because, just like what we just previously saw in the UK, we get to breakfast the next morning, and the traitors are in there first. First is Dan and Phaedra, and they're like, do you know what happened? I don't know what happened. Did you even see what happened? I don't know who got it. I don't know. So then Parvati comes in. They're like, girl, who did you poison? And Parvati was like, I just had to poison this week Ekansu. And Phaedra's, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Not Ekansu.
Oh, Lord, not Ekansu. Oh, child, no.
Oh, my Lord,
Lord.
sweet baby Jesus.
Like,
oh, Lord, sweet
Lord,
baby
not
Jesus.
Ekansu.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Not anyone but Ekansu.
Oh, anybody but Ekansu.
Not
Jesus.
Ekansu.
Oh, Lord Jesus, Ekansu.
Nah. Ekansu.
She said, Ekansu. If you do it Ekansu, they're going to look at me because I was the one that voted for Ekansu. And now the heat is on me. And Papa's like, and then it's like, you think. Oh.
Huh.
Let me save that nugget of information and put it in my back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And Papa's like, I don't think so. She's like, oh, Lord, not Ekansu, I think. Oh, okay. So then everybody starts coming in. And they're like, hey, welcome. Make the breakfast. Girl, good to see you. Hey, boy, you good? You sleep all right? And then Ekansu walk into the building, and baby, all their faces was like,
oh, yay!
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
And just
looking at
subtle
Papa
glances of like, what? Did you mess this up?
What the fuck is going on up in here on this day?
Right. What is happening right now? Anybody want to tell me? And they're like, did you mess up? Are you dead? Who's dead? Are we dead? What happened?
Dead?
What happened? Who happened? And so everybody comes in, everybody's there. And
Well,
not everybody.
almost everyone.
Almost everybody. Because apparently Deontay has decided to walk from the game. He walked, and we find out in some articles that has recently come out, Deontay left because Deontay said this accusing people and it not being true triggered a lot of traumatizing emotions that happened to him in his youth, and he couldn't handle being there. And he was like, as much as he wanted to stay, this was too traumatic for him. It was very much like, it's bringing up memories he rather not. And I was like, you know what?
Good
As
on him.
much as I understand, and we don't, everybody don't have the same triggers. Everybody don't have the same traumatic experiences. And so for me, of course, and probably for you, the two of you, playing this game, it wouldn't be triggering. It wouldn't be like, oh no, this accusing people and it not working out and it's not being the truth probably wouldn't have triggered us. But for somebody who may have went through some things, it triggers. And we saw Deontay was very sensitive soul. He was very much a emotional person who took a lot of this very personally. And so it's sad to see Deontay go. I was really growing to really appreciate Deontay and seeing this different side of him. But mental health comes first. And if this is going against anything against your mental health, take a break, step away, and I respect that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I was really liking him as a player in the game, and I think he would have brought I think he would have brought some better energy, some better reads, things like that. But at the end of the day, do what you need to do for your mental health, and I hope he's good now.
Absolutely. But so Deontay's not there, but everybody else is there. And Alan comes out and he's like, hello, players. I have to say, it's good to see everyone. But the traitors were up to no good last night. And one of you were poisoned. And the reaction from Atkinsu cracked me up. She was just like, oh my God. Oh no. Oh God.
So
she starts coughing as if she knows she's been poisoned.
And funnily enough, on the post-mortem show, the minute that was said, she actually said she felt like she was poisoned to some degree, like physically poisoned. So that mental image of her acting like she's being poisoned, no, that's her body slightly telling her she is. You know, fun.
Was it her body telling her she was, or was it the producers telling her she was?
Completely on her own without being prompted by a producer, obviously.
That's also valid.
I was just like, this just seems
because you know if it was anybody else, it would have just gone off, whatever. But because it was a Love Island girly, and they know how to act it up, they know how to bring in drama and intrigue and acting. I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised whatsoever. That was that poison getting you earlier, too.
I felt so poisoned. I feel like it's me. I was like, girl, do you feel okay? All right. Who am I to say she wasn't for real? Who am I to say that? I don't know. I'm just saying what I thought I saw. And what I thought I saw felt like the producers told her she was poisoned, and she was like you said, playing it up for the girlies. But we appreciate you playing it up. It was good TV. I enjoyed it. So Alan tells them to get dressed to pay their last respects to the dead. And so everybody goes to get dressed and they go outside, and we got our same beautiful black horses from the UK, which I love because they were beautiful. The guardsmen and Alan looking stunning in his long black coat and kilt and hat and the cane. It was everything.
It was rhinestone too. Like,
it was rhinestone.
It just
so good.
We talked about it when we did Traitors UK.
You're gonna be right there.
We talked when we did Traitors UK, and we were like, well, we love Claudia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Claudia did a great job with this challenge, but it is hard not to compare them when they happen in the same damn week.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Alan, the theatrics,
the
drama, the intrigue,
mm-hmm.
the rhinestones,
mm-hmm.
the homosexuality. Because I'm saying that word instead of something else. I mean, we don't have to worry about monetization.
Oh, yeah.
But make sure to subscribe so we can worry about monetization in the future.
Sure.
But just it was
the
I even feel like the filming of this was better.
Cinematically, I was like, oh,
just the pan as we walk to see the choir.
The pan up from the bottom of the cane up until when he started walking, and it was like when he was tapping that cane 3 times, and it was like, doosh, dude, and we saw the dust rising from the ground every time he hit it. It was like, pah, pah, pah. I was like, oh, the cinematographer here, yeah.
He knows what shows he's on now.
Absolutely.
And I would say the same for Claudia for sure. It's just it's very different. And that's what I like about all of the different franchises that we get, because looking at Claudia, she brings this kind of like motherly energy, but looking at Canada with Corrine, she was giving like a bad bitch energy.
Boss.
Like she's like, you all suck.
Get it together.
You didn't get a traitor? Good for you. Like, and then you have Alan just giving
Auntie K.
I love it.
I have to watch the Australian one to see how that host gives. Does he give like these 3? Because right now, baby, they're giving.
I don't remember it offhand.
I'm gonna watch it because David says he's great. So I'm gonna watch and see how good this person is. If he's giving the same kind of energy that Claudia and Alan and Corrine gives, because baby, they give their own vibe of energy, and I love it. But we go on our funeral march. Janelle and is it Janelle, Peter, and Janelle, Peter, and somebody else.
Larsa?
No, it wasn't her. It was 2 guys. I think it was Kevin.
Yes.
It was Kevin. I forget about him sometimes. But Janelle, Peter,
he's on the show. Yeah,
he's on the show. I forgot he was there. I forgot. But
he pops up maybe once this episode.
Yeah.
The only reason he popped up in episode 3 was because he was making that stupid deal with Peter for them to vote for each other.
Yeah.
Now come back to this moment when they end up the top 2 of the season.
But he thought he was so poisoned because he ate so much the night before. So he was like, I am for sure poisoned. I ate so much last night. I was like, oh, Jesus.
Do you know where you are?
He has no idea. He has no idea who these people are. He has no idea what he's doing there. He's just like, I'm on vacation in a manor in Scotland. That's pretty much it. He has no idea.
There are thousands of other reality TV people they could have cast over this man.
Anybody else.
Go ahead.
But that's okay. I understand your frustration. They have this man here, and they're all in the back because they have shields, so they're safe. And Janelle's giving us great moments like while y'all walking, I'm sitting back in this chair. So it sucks for you. They're walking doing the march. So they get to the first question. Oh, if you hadn't watched our UK, let me talk like we've never talked about this before. So the march is they have to go and answer 3 questions. And the 3 questions will whittle down who was poisoned and whittled it down and make it easier for them to pick who was poisoned. So it'll whittle down the field. So they go through and answer through each question, and with each correct answer, some people will be put onto the cart and the rest will walk. So there we go. So we get to the first question. First question is whose birthday, whose year, whose was birth year was the same. Those people would not be poisoned. And it was Larsa and Sandra, and it was Kevin. No, it was.
Oh no, this is where Kevin.
Oh yeah, it was Kevin. No, Kevin wasn't on
Who
the
the
thing. I
hell
don't
was
know
in the?
who the heck was on that thing with them.
What
it
generic
was
was
Peter,
it?
Janelle.
Was it Peter Janelle? I thought it was Larsa.
Because Larsa was with Sandra, and that's what Sandra made that shady comment talking about some. I didn't think Larsa was the same age as me because she looked 10 years older than me, and I was like, "Ooh, Sandra, girl, stop playing, stop lying," because Larsa definitely looks younger than you. I was like, Sandra, you being shady, but you being shady and you wrong because you know Larsa does not.
I think that's honestly on the point of Sandra Diaz Twine. I think that's kind of been my biggest shock so far in the series is that they're not showing Sandra at all.
Not really.
Because
I'm trying to
she
remember,
hasn't
like, on
done
her...
much.
No, she hasn't done much. I was trying to remember on her previous seasons whether she had been edited so much, like on both seasons she won. And I'm remembering, like, Heroes versus Villains, I don't remember her much in the pregame at all. So I'm like, is this a thing where they just don't normally edit in Sandra in the beginning?
Who knows?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But she made this snarky comment and was like, Larsa looks 10 years older than me. I didn't think we were the same year. And I was like, girl, Sandra, I love you. But you know you lying. You know you lying because you know Larsa look younger than you.
Tamra.
Janelle.
Tamra, and Peter.
Period. Okay, great.
I was like, it's going to bother me if
Good.
I do not remember who this is.
I'm so glad you said it because I was like, I had no idea.
Yes.
But
so
then
it was
Janelle,
Tamra, and Peter, and then in the first round it was Dan and Kevin and Larsa and Sandra.
Exactly. So those 4 get on the boat, on the cart carriage, and they're gone. Yeah. And then the next question, we get to the choir, and the choir was like Johnny Bananas trusted these people the most, and it was 2 people, and obviously it was CT and Trishelle, and I'm like,
I'm so surprised by that answer. Like, I'm genuinely so surprised that Johnny Bananas would say that. Like, I really was so gagged by the fact that Johnny Bananas said that the 2 people that he trusted the most
was from the challenge
were CT and Trishelle.
I honestly think they had the first clue and the third clue ready to go, and they were like,
they just needed to clear CT and Trishelle.
And they just need to clear CT and Trishelle, and we're like,
yep.
Johnny Bananas.
Right, because why would they single him out of everybody?
Right.
It was so random and weird. Maybe.
Well, they did that in the UK. The second question was about Tracy.
Yeah.
So they did do a question about,
but Tracy wasn't first.
No, but I mean, like, the most recent murder. But that
and the most that was the most recent. Sense. It still doesn't make sense because the most recent murder would have been someone else, Marcus. But
and they already had Larsa safe, so they
exactly. So they couldn't use him. So it makes sense. It made sense for them to do that. And like you said, Jack, they just needed to get CT and Trishelle cleared. And then the last question was, I can't remember.
It was who was in red during the scarecrow mission.
The red team.
Right. Red team.
Which left MJ, Parvati, and Ekansu.
Yep. And in this moment, when they said that question, Ekansu said, "It's me. I can almost feel the poison. I can taste the poison right now.
I'm
It's
like,
me.
girl.
It's me. It's so me right now. I know it's me." And I was like, "Girl, would you relax and calm down? We know it's you, but you." She wanted her last few minutes. She was like, "I'm about to die, and so I'm about to give the last few moments of my time here and make people remember the name of Ekansu." And I said, "Okay, girl, it's your moment. Have it." And she
But
had it. But
I honestly think this in particular is why the entire group lost the mission.
Yes.
Because they thought Ekansu, because she was overacting so much,
yep.
was a traitor and had murdered MJ.
Yep.
MJ was the name brought up over and over and over again as, yeah, no, she's the one that's dead.
MJ's dead. She talks so much. She's very outspoken. MJ's dead. I know it.
And every single person voted for MJ.
Yep.
Even the traitors, because they weren't about to blow their cover.
Absolutely. I would have did it too. If I'm seeing where everybody going, I'm like, that's what I'm going to. Because it would have been stupid to put it into Ekansu's thing. That would have been dumb. But yeah, Ekansu's gone.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
I mean, after they showed online this week who everyone remaining in the game would have suggested for season 3, I'm happy she's gone.
Oh,
did y'all not see that?
no.
Oh yeah, so like everyone suggested people that should be on season 3. So like Dan and Janelle both said Brittany Haynes, icon, legend, diva, mother. Which yes, please. There were a lot of like choices. I don't remember who Peppermint said. Someone. I don't remember.
Peppermint, I believe, said Tammy Brown.
Yes, which would be the best casting choice they could ever make.
Just
the
weirdest, deepest cut.
Yes. Ekansu said the Orange Cheeto Man.
Yeah, that one was
so
the
you know
weirdest.
I was fine with her getting poisoned.
Why would we want that man anywhere near any screen on any television ever again when we still have to deal with him on TV right now, which we don't want in the first place?
Because she's British.
I think because she's British, she doesn't realize how much that man is constantly on the American subconscious and how most people never want to see him on television again.
How he's truly affecting the lives of people in America, like truly affecting it in a very negative way.
Yep.
And you want to say, girl, bye. Okay,
yeah,
girl.
That's why I was like, nope, she can go. That's fine. Goodbye.
Bye, girl.
Anyway, okay. The group is gooped.
Gooped. Whooped.
Because Alan goes, Ekansu, slam, and everyone's like,
even MJ
it was pretends to be shocked, but actually it was shocked.
It was shocked.
MJ quite literally, with every single black rose on her, sits up and goes, What? Like, she accepted death at that point. She was gone.
She was like, I guess I got poisoned last night. Okay.
I don't even know how that happened, but it is what it is. And MJ, let me mention MJ, while everybody is in the all black, MJ got her black and white coat on.
Oh,
mostly
her white coat.
Her white coat. I'm MJ right now in my...
Well, she wasn't the only one, because fucking Trishelle's coat was blue.
It was close to the black.
The fashion that Trishelle was trying to show this season, nothing of the sort.
Because absolutely nothing she's worn has been memorable, honestly. Yeah.
She wore an ugly plaid skirt one time.
I don't even remember what she was wearing. That's how bad. And she was trying to go for Peppermint in her outfits. And we remember the Peppermint's jumpsuit moment. Come on.
Oh, that iconic tan jumpsuit will go down in history.
That tan jumpsuit, baby, period. But okay, Trishelle, work. But yeah, MJ was like, what? I'm not dead? How?
And immediately, Pete's like, "Yeah, MJ's a traitor."
MJ's a traitor. I was like,
No, don't come for my girl. Like,
Peter was on instant. He was like, MJ's a traitor. I was like, oh, how much social capital do you have? Because if you do, that means something. But if you don't,
it
well,
doesn't seem
you
like
just
he
talking.
does.
I think he does. I don't think he does. But everybody's shocked. They lose $20,000 because they guessed wrong. $20,000. A lot of money to lose. But they lost it. And so they go back to the castle. And MJ is still shocked and grouped and gagged that she's still here. Um, I don't know if anything else was happening in between. Y'all can talk about that.
There are a couple things. So, throughout this episode, Larsa has begun to place some pretty heavy suspicions, not on a player, but a type of player. She really, really, really thinks that an alpha male is leading the pack, which this is just watching this episode. I've heard alpha male more than I've ever wanted to in my life.
Drink every time Larsa said alpha male.
Oh,
like,
Jesus,
you'll end up in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it frustrates me seeing this perspective from Larsa because, like, while I understand to an extent her reasoning behind it, like, it makes logical sense given that she is, like, kind of the opposite of an alpha male, and her friend was just taken out. Oh, and her boyfriend was just taken out. Like, but also, are you not confident in a woman's ability to be a traitor? That I was like, the call is coming from inside the house.
Right.
Girl, like, huh? And just knowing that two of the traitors are women makes this, like, even more like, girl, what the fuck?
And the only male who's actually a traitor, Dan, I would not describe as an alpha male in, like, most contexts. So it's just like a weird proposition to just make. And I think also the fact that Larsa really early in the episode, like at breakfast, is like, my inner circle is basically gone. And MJ's really the only person I have left, which I think Larsa's just panicking at this point. Like, she's spiraling hard.
I feel like, I mean, we said it last week. We said that the way she was going for Dan, we felt that it was because Marcus had mentioned Dan and had said that Dan was somebody who he was suspecting and very strongly felt like they were a traitor. And I felt like she took that and ran with it. And now she doesn't have a soundboard with a back and forth with Marcus to talk about it and figure things out. And so going on her own. I mean, it was a reason why Marcus was voted the smartest. And if between the two, like if somebody wanted to believe something, who they would believe it coming from was Marcus, because he just seemed more stable, more logical. She just seems like she just gets an idea in her head and she just runs with it without doing research, without looking, without back checking, without fact checking with people. Like, she just goes with it. And she is, and I hate to be like typical, but I don't think it's typical, but she is very emotional, and she's an emotional person and an emotional player. She goes off of vibes and emotions and how she feels, and she just runs with it. And it's like, girl, you can't do that in a game of strategy, in a game where logic has to, be key. Like, it has to make sense. And her logic behind it being an alpha male, because the alpha males were leaving the game. Wouldn't alpha males want to keep the alpha males around because they want to make the money? Why would they take out people who can help them make money if we're trying, and we've seen on Survivor favorite things when the tribe is trying to make a stronger tribe, they usually vote the women out first because they feel like the men are going to be the strongest in these challenges to make the tribe strong. And I feel like it's the same thing in this game. If you're going to make, well, typically people will say if you want to make the team stronger to win the challenges and to make the most money, wouldn't it be, if it's something physical, wouldn't you keep the stronger people around and get rid of some of the weaker players? But that's not what was going on, because we got rid of what, 3 guys first or 2 guys first? They killed 2 guys. Like Bananas and Marcus were the people who they murdered. So it wasn't like they're murdering women. The banishment is coming with the women.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it just didn't make sense. And I felt like she was just going off on a tangent and off a feeling and what she just figured.
And before we go to the round table, she's like, she has this whole group of women together, making a pact to vote out a man, and then goes into the dining room with all the photos and narrows it down between Dan and CT almost arbitrarily. Like there really isn't like any sort of rhyme or reason to the way that she's done this.
I mean, she just said Peter and Kevin were too dumb to be the traitors. And Berkey,
which might be true, but
which is facts, but yeah.
So she lands on CT, and they're like, okay, we're voting for CT. Unfortunately for Larsa, Sandra Diaz-Twine is in that group.
Absolutely.
And she's going to go immediately to talk to CT and Dan. Be like, hey, so Larsa's throwing out your name. We need to vote Larsa. Because, and then Larsa, like, later on, all of the housewives, but mostly Larsa, are like, well, why is it, like, why are we being targeted, blah, 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 blah. Because you made the division.
Right.
You've made this division between the non-gamers and the gamers.
But I feel like both of them did that. Because
I agree with you. Yeah.
Because the gamers did that too, because they were like, we're the gamers, they're the housewives, and everybody in between.
I wouldn't say all the gamers did, because I think Sandra was doing a really good job at getting in with the housewife. She said, she was like, I need to be the housewife's best friend. Whether I work with them long term is another thing. I think Janelle was someone else that was trying to do that.
No, Janelle was the one who said they were the gamers. Janelle said in the beginning, here was the gamers, here are the non-gamers.
She was still making efforts to like get in.
You can be, I think they were being social, but they weren't making the effort to try to work with them. They were like, we're trying to get it in so we can get information. I think that same thing with Sandra. I don't think she was trying to work with the housewives to actually work with them. She was just trying to gain information, which we saw. She got that information from them and immediately went to CT and Dan and was like, here's what's happening. Here's the thing. She's trying to be their best friend so they can tell her stuff. But now they're no longer going to do that because she ruined that at the round table, and we'll talk about that. But I don't think Janelle and Sandra or Poverty even were trying to work to get in with the housewives to work with them. They were just trying to get in with the housewives to get on their good side so they can get the information so they can relay it back to the gamers, because the housewives wasn't really working or talking to Dan or CT or, to the men side of the house. They were really sticking close to each other, and the Bravo people in general with MJ and Kevin, so to speak, because he was Bravo, was able to hang out and get, and get what's happening. But that was it. The Bravo folks were sticking with the Bravo folks, and the gamer folks was just sticking with the gamer folks, but then they would come and try to. And I think the housewives, like Larsa said, we could smell that stuff. And they smelled that Sandra, well, maybe not Sandra, but Janelle was only trying to talk to them just to get, for game reasons and social aspects of it. But I don't know. I don't think it was for them to actually work with. It was just so they could make sure that they were insulated, if that makes sense.
Totally. And then at that point, then we're at the round table. where kind of it's interesting that both Parvati and Sandra now kind of separately but together have this plan to target Larsa. Parv because of the Housewives Alliance and the main ringleader of that being probably Phaedra, but obviously she's not going to target Phaedra at this point. So she's going to go after Larsa. And then Sandra because of what was happening with the gameplay.
We also get that cute little conversation before the round table with Dan and Parvati, where they mention that we need to start targeting the housewives because it is apparent to what's going on, and maybe we should start targeting Phaedra at some point because it'll be better if the two of us get to the end, because nobody will ever suspect Phaedra, but they always suspect us first. So we gotta start putting them seedlings out and pushing Phaedra towards that bus that we want to run her over with. So and they were like, yeah, she can't go to the end with us. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Good to
and
know.
also just to satiate the faithfuls a little bit, give them some traitor blood, and then have the scent die down a little bit because they've been a little starved, and we have to sacrifice someone.
Why
we
not?
can't
Phaedra?
all just get to the end. Why is it
wouldn't
Phaedra? Because
I can tell you it ain't gonna be Phaedra. It is not going to be Phaedra.
it's probably not going to be Phaedra.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be Phaedra. And I know who I think it's gonna be because I said it last week. Dan Giesling is here for a fun time, but not a long time, baby. He is not. His days are numbered in this game. I'm gonna say it. I think his days are numbered.
Yeah. What's interesting about this roundtable is like everybody's going in and like the gamers are planning to target Larsa, but the only real piece of evidence that gets brought up against Larsa is when Janelle decides she's going to target Larsa because she toasted her own boyfriend.
You cheersed him.
How dare you? Horrible.
Now, I'm like, okay. I know that they all want to target Larsa, so there has to be a reason. But girl, Janelle, that might be the single dumbest reason I have ever seen you personally, Janelle, use to target anyone. There have been some outlandish reasons Janelle has targeted people in the past.
On this season, too.
On this season, nonetheless.
I'm like, I was just like, what?
Strange.
Because she cheersed and toasted her boyfriend after he got murdered?
And Larsa's like,
you made everybody drink. I was like, what?
So you think Larsa, who was not in the room first, mind you, not in the room first, you think Larsa could have poisoned someone at breakfast and then by happenstance, Ekin-Su was the first person to drink her drink?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fine with y'all voting Larsa out because I don't like her. That's fine. But honestly, and then she counteracted that with, why would I kill my boyfriend? Which honestly is a pretty valid comeback.
I'm about to say, why would she kill her boyfriend this early in the game? Like, why would?
Like, I don't.
And Larsa was like, you think that's weird for me to? I think you're weird. I think you're weird for being so selfish. And I was like, oh, well.
Like,
one thing about a housewife, they're gonna have a comeback. I'll tell you that. They were like,
it may not be the strongest in the world, but it sure is gonna be. So Larsa decides she's gonna throw her suspicion onto CT for being the head of the snake. And Kevin is like, no, I don't like that. I don't find anything about you to be pleasant, Larsa. To which MJ goes, well, it would fit if it was you. And I'm like, MJ, what, girl? What? Huh?
I swear to Jesus, this was the weirdest round table when it came to people trying to come back and make arguments and who accused. It was the weirdest accusations. It was just they had nothing. I would have rather them be like, look, I'm voting for you because I just don't like you. I don't care if you're a faithful or traitor. I just don't like you.
Honestly.
I'd have been like, okay.
And
Okay.
then,
Yeah.
speaking of random reasons for targeting someone, Tamara decides to speak up for the first time this episode and goes, I think it's you, Kevin, because you were overacting at the burial when Ekansu got murdered. And I'm sitting there like, Larsa, you had a bigger reaction than he did. The math ain't math here.
This whole situation was so weird. And I was like, and randomness happening at this table. It was nothing like the round tables that I just watched in the UK where I was very excited.
I was going to say, I don't want to keep comparing this to Traitors UK.
I have to, though.
But in a week where we got 3 dynamic round tables.
Yep.
I did say in that video, I love a dynamic, a powerful round table, but I do also love just pure chaos. And that is why I enjoyed this one, because it was just pure chaos.
And these votes said it.
Oh God, we'll talk about the vote. I want to talk about Parvati sliding in here at this point, going, well, one of the 4 housewives has to be a traitor, and they all have the capacity to perform this part. And Phaedra is like, no, don't do the housewives thing, honey. Don't do that, Parvati. I'm like, come on, Miss Phaedra.
What's it? Yes, Phaedra. Get her together. Snatch her edges.
In the battle of Phaedra versus Parvati, I'm rooting for them both.
I'm Team Phaedra. I'm just gonna say. Only in this moment because I feel like Phaedra just read her better. Like she read her better. She was like,
Phaedra won the battle, but I'm still rooting for both of them incessantly.
Yes. And in the end, I want both of them to win.
I hope that Dan gets banished. And it's the 2 of them, and they have to somehow figure out a mutual recruitment and like potentially work together moving forward. And I just think that would be so entertaining.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. Jack, do you have anything?
Just ultimately, the civilian version that we get from the UK is about strategy and logic. The celebrity version we get in the US is about drama. And goddamn is the drama good.
It's about vibes.
It's about literally Larsa accuses CT and says, it's just the vibes I'm getting. There is no logic to it. And CT asks for anything.
Of all the people on this season, did you expect Larsa Pippen to give you a logical reason for wanting to vote someone out?
No. But that's what we're here for. We're here for random bullshit.
That's what we got.
Random bullshit. Most of these votes made sense.
Yes, some of them.
Most of them made sense.
Sheree.
What the hell are you voting for John?
Why are we voting for John right here? When you could have saved your girl.
I'm like, Sheree, why are you here?
You could have saved your girl and just voted for Kevin.
Like
what? What?
Why not?
Sheree.
Just
Sheree.
Throw the British man astray.
Give him a straight. He just been catching strays every week. Just poor John can't catch a break. He gets strays every single day.
He can't run.
Nope.
He can't catch a break.
He can't catch a. Y'all better leave John alone. I'm gonna say it. Leave John
alone.
He does not deserve this. Y'all keep messing with that man, and he ain't did nothing to nobody.
He's
just
been
sat there trying to breathe and been entertaining and say order. That man ain't said nothing to nobody. Just Leave John alone. Jesus. Let him breathe. And then Larsa can't even save herself. If she would have just voted Kevin, but no. She gonna stick to her guns because she accused CT. So she go say CT. I was like, well, you deserve to go.
Bye, Larsa.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, girl.
Well, there goes the head of the housewives, apparently. And surprising literally no one.
No one.
Faithful. Completely faithful.
Oh, they didn't get rid of her because they thought she was a traitor.
No, they
got rid of her
because they don't like her.
Yeah.
Annoying.
They don't like her.
As like Kevin said, you're annoying. You're just annoying, and it is what it is. And you know what? You can't be mad at it. You're just annoying. Sorry.
So we go to the turret. We're walking up, and there is not a moment wasted.
Phaedra said,
that wasn't cool.
that wasn't cool.
For you to go in there and try to throw me under the bus, when you do stuff like that, it brings attention to me. And Parvati breathed. And she said, nope, I'm not letting you breathe. No one likes you, Parvati. Everyone says you're a fucking traitor. We can be in this game together, but you're going to play fair. And if you don't, you're going to have more problems than the faithfuls. I'm playing very fair with you. So don't do that to me. Both of you.
Period.
Good
That has to be. That will be a quote that is remembered. That is going to go down as iconically as I would like to tell Gemma that she is a fat Like it. Oh my god!
I was like, you better read her, Phaedra. Read her and him. Get them. Because what
and
you're
I
not
fully
gonna
believe
do,
that Parvati is responding in between, and everyone was like, "Well, why do they edit so negatively against Parvati? Because they're making an iconic TV moment,
and they saving it for next week."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next week, I know Parvati's probably like, "What are you talking about? I didn't throw you under the bus. That's not what I meant. That's not what happened."
I was also like, "Let Parvati explain this because I know exactly how she's gonna explain it." Because being a game bot herself, she's going to be like, well, I had to put sus on the housewives to make it look like we're not working together because obviously we're working together. And that's what she's going to tell Phaedra. She's going to vote out Phaedra the next opportunity she can. But
like, you can't save all the housewives in this game. That's not going to happen.
Like, and then so obviously you're going to look like a traitor.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to get voted out.
So we go have to get rid of some of the housewives at some point in order to break up the.
Not even necessarily the housewives, but like the gamers.
Yeah.
Because you've got like MJ on that side, you've got Peter on that side, you've got Kevin, you've got John, kinda. Yeah. And so like it's becoming these two sides, and it's like both sides are gonna have to take out part of their own in order if the three of them are going to work together long term. They're not going to, and Phaedra and Parvati are going to target each other next week. Probably.
I don't think that.
I don't think surprised.
I don't think so, and I think because I feel like Dan is the one pushing this, but if something happens and Parvati goes after Phaedra so hard, it's going to look obvious. It's going to look like Parvati is a traitor. Even if they get a traitor, it's going to look like, and Sandra is not going to let up on Parvati. And I think Phaedra is going to listen to their reasonings on why she did what she did, and she's going to accept that and understand that, we have to put some heat on the housewives, because the situation is, it is 4 housewives in this game. one of y'all go be a traitor. That's just how it's going to be. So we need to make sure you don't have the heat. So we take out another housewife. So it's not you that they're looking at. And I think she's going to listen to reason. Phaedra is not illogical. She's a very logical person. She listens to reason. She's going to listen, and she understands that she's not she's not the gamest person in this game. And so she's going to listen to the people who have played these strategy games and who've done it before. And she's going to listen to what works and what doesn't work. She's going to take their suggestions as suggestions. But if she don't want to do it, she's not going to take it as law. But I think she's going to listen to reason. So I don't think they're going to go for each other. I think they're going to come to a truce at a moment where she's like, okay, I see what you're doing. Do I think they're going to go for each other eventually? Absolutely. But it's not going to be right away. That's my opinion.
Sure.
What are we thinking, Jack? What you think?
I think it's going to be a very, very, very interesting road. I easily can see either Dan or Parvati being picked off in the next 2 episodes. I think one of the faithful, one of the traitors is going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about who.
Yeah.
Because I think of all of the traitors at the moment, Phaedra's probably the one that no one is really onto.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way it happens is if they throw her directly into a bus, which is possible, but I think she's smart enough to know how to play around that.
Absolutely. Well, that's that, I guess. We will have to wait to see next week what happens, and we'll be back here same time next week. Maybe different panel, same panel, who knows? But we'll be back talking about all things Traitors US. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss when we drop any other videos and all the videos, and you will be the first to know when Traitors US comes out. Also, hit the subscribe button on our main channel at the Cup Pod and on our other channel, the Cup ESC, if you're into Dragon Eurovision. Follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We have some funny moments. We put them there. You can check us out over there. Also, you can follow the three of us because we have some interesting moments. We do some interesting things. Jack is usually on Twitch at some points when he has free time. So check out Jack on Twitch as well. You can get your cup merch or any of our other cup things at lanagcreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And on that note, we'll see y'all next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
All of my traitors, it's time to meet in the turret. Let's go.
Sleep well.
If you can.